Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Beta 400, and of course, Mr. the Fanboy. Of course, the brown skinned human. Coming back at you with another video review. This time, a different video review. This is a series of video game, webcam, video game, and console reviews. This is my review of Mortal Kombat 11, 10 XL, which is also known as 10, and Killer Instinct 2013, and my review of my entire Xbox One console, a review and rant on my Xbox One console and monitor. I was gonna do this on my birthday, but I had a small I'm at a small malware problem, which I appear to have taken care of now. So finally, this video which should have been done on my birthday will happen right now. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Let's show this console what I'm made of. The Xbox One is one of the best and worst video game consoles at the same time. And I'm going to be talking about the positives and negatives of this console in these series of videos right here, as is the games. As is the games. As is the games. So with that being said, let's get started. Let's show these consoles and video games what I'm made of. Hey everybody, time for part two of my review and rant on what I consider to be one of the best and at the same time, once again, the worst games of all time. Yes, there will be lots of positive things about this game, but there will also be lots of negative. There will be more ranting in this game because and this video game will feature what I am made of as the outro song already, because that I got a lot of problems with this game. But first, we're gonna start with the good stuff about this game. But before we get to that, let's talk more about this game. Besides Killer Instinct, and the prequel Mortal Kombat X, this game was my sole reason for getting a next generation console. Chose Xbox One because I wanted Killer Instinct. And this game would be much cheaper on the Xbox One, except it wasn't, as you can see by the sticker there. I waited until there was a special edition that has both the original Mortal Kombat 11 story mode and the update, which is what you see, the update DLC Aftermath. I didn't feel like paying money for the DLC, so I waited till they made a enhanced version that contains both versions and everything in the game. Well, at least everything at the time. There's been various amounts of content been released from this game ever since. There's still being content today being released, and an enhanced version will be released for the new consoles, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, coming later. I think either later this year or next year, or something like that. I don't remember. Actually, I think it's later next year it's later next year because we're already later this year, which I keep forgetting. Well, anyway, look at that cover. Look at that cover with Fire God Liu Kang, upgraded Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, Shang Tsung, and of course Raiden. 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 Let me talk about the pros. Let me explain why this is the best and worst game of all time. Let's talk about the pros. This game right here is the best looking. It's not only the best looking Mortal Kombat game I've seen, it's one of the best looking games, period. I have never seen a game look this real in detail and look this great in graphics, look this real. This is the only game that actually feels like a next gen game, and Xbox One and PlayStation 4 games. The Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have a bunch of games that could have easily been on the 360, but they want you to pay money for these garbage, overrated systems. Not this game. This is the best looking Mortal Kombat game and one of the best looking video games. One of the best looking video games I've ever seen. Man, so the graphics, visuals, the storyline and story mode. I thought the storyline for this game was the best of NetherRealm. Was the best of NetherRealm era because it featured past and present characters colliding with each other. I still got a couple of problems, and while it has a bunch of inconsistencies, it was the most consistent of the NetherRealm trilogy. Of the NetherRealm trilogy. The um next is the content and large cast of characters and skins. These were the pros. Now for the cons and why this game is one of the best and worst. It was number 2 of my best and worst games of all time. The gameplay is a slow, lethargic version of Killer Instinct, Street Fighter 4, and the first Mortal Kombat from 2011, Mortal Kombat 9. Mortal Kombat 9 is slow, lethargic, and clunky. Why didn't they just reuse the engine from the previous one, Mortal Kombat X, which that gameplay wise was surprisingly way better than this game right here. Next is the content. So, some of my favorite characters in the game includes past Liu Kang, Fire God Liu Kang, past Kung Lao, past Scorpion, Jax, Johnny Cage and Sonya. However, you can only play and access those characters in story mode. You have to go through these hard challenge towers and this terrible crypt in order to unlock them. Then if your servers are connected, which mine was until I upgrade my console, most of the cool skins and stuff you unlock will be turned off and rendered unaccessible until I upgrade my console or the servers get turned back on. But it's for me, I gotta upgrade my console, which I really don't feel like doing. Because another thing I didn't like, it took forever installing this game. This was the longest game. I've ever had to install. Next, what else about this game? So hard to unlock content. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Deceptions were two of the greatest Mortal Kombat games ever. They're not the best, and one of the main reasons for that was because those games had cool unlockable content too, but you had to go through several hoops, several constant complex obstacles to unlock that content. One of the worst things about Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance, they bring back from this game, but nothing good from those video games. Nothing good from those video games. Next is so um um so yes, this was the best. So yeah, that was these were the cons to this game. Oh yes, and speaking of, let's talk about that crypt mode, that horrible crypt mode. I can understand having a crypt in the old Mortal Kombat games because you didn't have an interactive story mode, but you have this stupid crypt involving some masked guy who looks like Kenshi running around in caves and abandoned places stealing things. This is a cool mode, but it has nothing to do with the main storyline, and it is slow and lethargic, just like the gameplay. It has nothing to do with the main storyline. You just run around unlocking chest walls and getting caught in booby traps. Next is next is differences with the while I love the story while I love this storyline the best, differences with the lore. Differences with the previous lore, which I'm gonna get to later when I get to the story mode, when I get to the storyline of this game. So yeah, that was Mortal Kombat Aftermath. Returning characters who are available from the start include um returning characters include Revenant Liu Kang, Revenant Kung Lao Kitana, Jade, Cabal, middle-aged Sonya and Johnny Cage, and Dark Rated, Present Scorpion, and Sub Zero, Cassie Cage, Jacqui Briggs, and Scarlet, and of course, guest downloadable characters include Joker, and Terminator and RoboCop, who you have to download. And returning DLC characters include Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 era Shang Tsung, who you can see on the cover to the far right of Raiden, to the far right of Raiden. Then you got who else? Who else? Oh yeah. Um um Ronin Fujin in a Ronin costume, and of course a new a new and of course a brand new Nightwolf who has a cool unique skin that's undescribable, and that is not present in story mode but in regular arcade mode. And of course, newcomers include one of my favorite characters from the also returning from the previous game, Kodo Khan, one of my favorite characters from the Netherrealm era, followed by one of the major antagonists of this game, the Sand the Sand God, the immortal Sand God, Geras. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so yeah, these were yeah. Next, you have the battle stages. Several battle stages like the acid pool, 2D arcade movie sets of the subway stage from Mortal Kombat 3, and the tournament site with the monks from Mortal Kombat 1 returns in this game. You have a very cool Fight Club cage match stage for the Black Dragon headquarters building. You have special forces building, the Shaolin Monastery, um Chronica ship and so many other various cool levels that you see in story mode. That you see in story mode. Story mode. Other pros to this game going back is the storyline, story mode, action, special maneuvers, fatalities. They're much easier to do in this game. Yes, one of the many things I do like. They're much easier to do in this game and in the NetherRealm era and in Armageddon and 4 than they are in regular Mortal Kombat games. And oh yeah, in the tournament ladder, returning from the previous game is the trash talk and special dialogue with each other. They have extended dialogue with each other in the arcade mode. So these right here are the pros, and I mentioned what the cons were. What the cons were. Now let's get to the storyline. The storyline has Raiden. The storyline of the first one, there are two. The storyline of the first one has Raiden, Sonya, Cassie Cage, and Jaquie Briggs, and the rest of the Special Forces, excluding Jax, who had to be honorably discharged due to personal issues, and Johnny Cage, who had to star in a Ninja Mime sequel. They infiltrate NetherRealm and destroy their cathedral, and destroy their armor, destroy their army, preventing the new NetherRealm rulers of Liu Kang and Katana from invading Earthrealm. They succeed, but Sonya gets killed in the process when Liu Kang buries her under rubble. Rubble. Chronica comes back. Chronica, the main antagonist, a time goddess who is the keeper of time, approaches Liu Kang and Katana with the ultimatum of starting a brand new era with their help by removing Raiden permanently. As such, she breaks time and brings back the past versions from Mortal Kombat 9 of Liu Kang, Katana, Kung Lao, Jax, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sector, Cyrax, and even new Cybot, and and throughout the game, the characters interact with each other, also bringing back Shao Kahn, and of course Baraka in a past version of Aaron Black. The other thing I didn't like about this game, who the hell cares about who Aaron Black was in the past? And Aaron Black was not part of Mortal Kombat 9. Well, anyway, continuing. So Aaron Black. Yeah, the characters. There are multiple storylines. You have Liu Kang and Kung Lao in their chapter, as a tribute to the Shaolin monks game. They infiltrate their Shaolin temple to investigate the disappearance of their Shaolin masters, and they encounter the two of the main antagonists. That's Geras and Chronica. Chronica, the keeper of time, and also fight their revenant selves. Kitana, rallies up Outworld's forces, which includes Shiva, the Shokan, and Baraka, to aid her, Jade, Liu Kang, and Kung Lao in rescuing Kodo Khan and recovering the throne from him. And Kodo Khan, because he's crippled, he gets crippled by a resurrected Shao Kahn, gives the throne to Kitana, and such Kitana becomes Kitana Khan and tries to unite Outworld and Aditya, and as such Baraka, for the first time since the Malibu comic books, becomes a good guy in the storyline. Then you have who else? Oh yeah. Then you have Sub-Zero and Scorpion in a tribute to the canceled game they were supposed to have in the 2000s called Fire and Ice, infiltrate Lin Kuei headquarters, which has been resurrected and taken over by Sector, Frost, and an enslaved Cyrax, and of course Noob Saibot. They fight their way in to shut down the factory, but Snoop Cybot, Sector, and Frost escape via teleportation, and Cyrax shuts down again, but not before Sub-Zero promises he will resurrect him as a human sometime in the future. Um, what else about this video game? So yeah, then you have the brig. You have a past Jax and a past Briggs going to going to Shang Tsung's island to retrieve the crown. This is where the plot storyline really begins. The main plot: retrieve the crown and use it against Chronica, because Chronica needs this crown to restart history for the brand new era she's talking about in the game, and to permanently erase Raiden from which she brings back a past Raiden, which erases the Dark Raiden and the Raiden from the current timeline, from the current from the current timeline. In the final battle, the remaining forces, which includes Raiden, the past Scorpion, who was reformed by the present Scorpion, who got killed by Devora, Sub-Zero, Kung Lao, Kitana, Jacqui Briggs, Cassie Cage, and Chronica and past Jax storm Chronica's keep via Karan, who drives the ship of the dead in the Nether realm, and then Liu Kang steals the soul of his past self and challenges Raiden. Raiden defeats him, and instead of killing him this time, fuses with him and forms Fire God Liu Kang, who you can see on the far left of Raiden right here. Raiden right here in one of the coolest moments in the game. And together, in the remaining forces, they storm Chrono's Key, where Liu Kang does battle with his former Revenant allies, Jade, Kitana, and Kung Lao, and defeats each of them. This is one of the main problems I didn't like about the game. I was hoping here he would parallel MK Deception Liu Kang, where he fought these characters, where he had Ermac fight these characters while he occupied Kitana, then one by one purified their souls, purging them of their evil and reawakening them from Unaga's curse. I was hoping he would do that here. How does a spirit in the previous timeline do that, but a fire god, a god in the new timeline can't do that, can't purify and heal souls this um in this video game. And then Chronica rewinds time, but because Liu Kang's a god now, he is separate from time and thus survives and fights and defeats Chronica in the final battle for the future of the world. Everything then tries to restart, but in the process he destroys Chronica's crown. Thus he can't restart history, and he tries to restart history where he is stopped by Shang Tsung, a returning Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and Fujin, who has learned that they were offered places in Chronica's new era, but for refusing her, they were banished to the void. So in this DLC, Liu Kang has Fujin, Nightwolf, and Shang Tsung go in the past to steal Chronica's crown before before the final battle with Chronica. As such, Fujin, Nightwolf go visit multiple scenes, such as Kitano's battle with Shao Kahn, Kitano's battle with Shao Kahn, a new battle with Geras, where they come up with their game plan. They later learn that their arrival at the Colosseum has alarmed everyone of their presence, and they may be ambushed by Cetrian. So they come up with a plan to resurrect Sindel, from the Nether realm. They barely are able to do this while barely getting past Shiva, Baraka, and Aaron Black, and finally resurrect Sindel. Then here's where the story really begins. They enter the Briggs' stage, where they storm Chronica's keep, where they storm Chronika's keep, where they storm Shang Tsung's island and get there before the Briggses do, and do battle and Fujin does battle with Jax. Fujin does battle with Noob Saibot, while Shang Tsung does battle with Jax, and Fujin saves Jax from Shang Tsung's dragon sorcery based soul stealing maneuver and does battle with Jax and reforms Jax. Reforms Jax similar to what Raiden did in the previous game. Before that, Fujin fought Cabal, and Shang Tsung fought a Revenant and defeated a Revenant Jade, and they fought a bunch of Shaolin monks, a bunch of undead Shaolin monks working for Shang Tsung. And while Sindel and Nightwolf occupied and fought Cetrion, the other antagonist and the daughter of Chronica in this game, and beat each other, and Nightwolf nearly sacrificed himself again. Then Nightwolf goes to meet up with the special forces, while Fujin and Shang Tsung go to Raiden and Scorpion's chapter. Only instead of Scorpion getting attacked this time, Scorpion returns from the past. Scorpion returns from the Netherrealm and teams up with Sub-Zero to stop Shang Tsung and Fujin. Who Sub-Zero believes Fujin has been corrupted by Shang Tsung. He freezes Shang Tsung, and Fujin defeats Sub-Zero before he is encountered by Raiden, who Fujin tells Raiden of Shang Tsung's plan, and Raiden intelligently doesn't believe him and claims he never thought Fujin was so gullible, and gets into a fight with Liu Kang. When Raiden tries to kill Shang Tsung like he did Scorpion by electrocuting him with Shinnok's amulet, just like he did with Scorpion in the previous version, but Fujin manages to knock some sense into Raiden, and then they all team up to defeat Chronicle. Chronicle, of course, comes to kidnap Liu Kang, but this time they successfully drive her off. It is here we learn that Shang Tsung designed the crown. Not only did Chronicle's building by gathering souls for it, but also designed the crown. And Chronicle tries to warn him about Shang Tsung breaking their alliance. They claim they're prepared, but when it's over, Shang Tsung reveals his plan by having Sindel resurrect Shao Kahn and rendezvous with them at the Sea of Blood. Sindel heals Shao Kahn, not resurrect, heals Shao Kahn. It turns out he didn't die in the previous game. He just got blinded and injured by Kitana and put in chains. Sindel kills two guards, torturing Shao Kahn, and talks about their plan to take the throne back from Kitana when they're overheard by Shiva, who Shiva tries to stop Sindel but gets beaten up in the process. Shiva's people, the Shokin, come, and Sindel lies and says Kitana killed their Shokin brothers and beat up Shiva, and the Shiva ally with Sindel to get revenge. Sindel and Khan kill Geras by smashing his head, by destroying his new helmet and smashing his head. Then they go to where past Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Cassie Cage are. They defeat and kill all their men while taking the surviving members, Cassie Cage, Jax, and Sonya, who Khan and Sindel defeated in battle, prisoner. Then they storm Kitana's ship. And defeat and kill numerous warriors of Kodo Khan and Turkatans before Kung Lao confronts them and is defeated and tossed into the Sea of Blood. Kodo Khan fights Shao Kahn and loses again, and Jade gets knocked out trying to defend Kodo Khan. Kodo Khan gets his leg chopped off, gets his head chopped off. Kitana fights and loses to Sindel, who Sindel's revealed to be, in this timeline, is revealed to be evil. revealed evil from the start, revealed to be the killer of King Jarrett, in a controversial reckoning which I'm mixed towards. Half of me hates it, half of me likes it because it does make Mortal Kombat 9 make more sense. In Mortal Kombat 9, and even though Sindel was supposed to be one of the good guys, they all try to fight and kill her first before Kitana tries to reform her. Since it's revealed that she was always evil, it makes sense why they all try to gang up on her and attack her in Mortal Kombat 9. Well, continuing, but I hate it because I love the Sindel story arc and character in the previous game. I like how she was when you look at her, she was like an evil goth queen, but it was later revealed when you beat the game or like I did watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it was revealed she was a good guy all along that was corrupted to serve evil. Then when she was broken free from Khan's spell, she tried to undo Khan's evil by returning Gardenia to his former glory. I hate how they tossed it out for some stereotypical evil goddess queen in this version obsessed with power. And I hate how Kitana after all the work in the last game, finally it was undone by not only another time skip by a stupid rectin, but that I'm going to talk about later. In this video. Well, anyway, Sindel defeats Kitana, and Shao Kahn shockingly and in my opinion disappointingly defeats Liu Kang. I hated this right here, but I'm going to talk about why I think this was in the next later on. But Khan defeated Liu Kang, even though Liu Kang defeated him 3 times, twice in the original timeline and once here. Well, anyway, if Kitana defeated Khan, shouldn't Liu Kang be able to defeat Khan? And if Kitana defeated Khan, why is she losing to Sindel? Unless Sindel is stronger than Khan in this version. And isn't Liu Kang stronger than all of them? So that's a problem I had with this game right here. Then after chopping off Kono Khan's head back in the present, Nightwolf, Fujin, Shang Tsung, and the hero Storm Chronicles keep. It is here where they're confronted by Liu Kang, it's revealed that Liu Kang then confronts Raiden. The Revenant Liu Kang confronts Raiden, but charges at him, but before he can land the blow, his legs break. It is revealed that Shao Kahn breaks both the legs of Liu Kang. It is here where Raiden discovers Shang Tsung's plot, and Fujin gives Shang Tsung the crown. Who was disguised as Raiden, and Shang Tsung becomes Titan. Shang Tsung and overpowers Raiden and Fujin, knocking them into Old Man, knocking him into Chronica Jax. Then Shang Tsung confronts and defeats Nightwolf and prepares to steal his soul, but Fujin and Raiden stop saying Shang Tsung's evil will not triumph, and his treachery is expected. They fight Shang Tsung, but because of Shang Tsung's new power, they lose, and Shang Tsung drains them of their souls, but not killing them, but having Shao Kahn and Sindel, who also arrived there and apparently killed everyone else there, killed or took them prisoner, took their bodies, and they stormed Chronica ship where Khan and Sindel killed Revenant Jade and Kitana, and Titan Shang Tsung kills Revenant Kung Lao, snapping his neck, then shooting Chronica before Shang Tsung turns on Sindel and Khan by shooting them from behind with flaming skulls, and fighting and beating them up and draining them of their souls like they did him in Mortal Kombat 9. Then Shang Tsung defeats Chronica and offers her a chance to serve him in his new era. Chronica refuses, and as such Shang Tsung absorbs him. Then Liu Kang reveals that he planned this all along. He told Fujin to let Shang Tsung win, and to ensure victory and ensure the safety of the crown, sacrificed his friends, allowed his friends to die, get hurt, get injured, knowing he could resurrect them in his new era. in his new era, and I think that's why I think not only did Liu Kang tell Fujin to win, but I think he altered the timeline and changed several elements, such as Liu Kang not getting kidnapped by Kronika, Kodo Kai participating in the final battle and making Shao Kahn stronger than Liu Kang in this version. And yeah, then Liu Kang, Fire God Liu Kang fought Shang Tsung. You have two endings. If you pick Shang Tsung, you get a continuation of this timeline with Shang Tsung being master, becoming Khan, and goes on his conquest, invading all of the realms. I hated both endings, but I hated Shang Tsung's more. But I'm going to talk about the potential of both endings. Shang Tsung's ending has him going on the conquest of realms, Earth realm and another realm, and Outworld are conquered with Chaos realm and Order realm. Next with Raiden, Dark Raiden, and Corrupted Fujin as his minions, which I didn't like. With Shang Tsung being a giant Khan ruler over the world, it was pure cringe. But I'm going to talk about the potential of that storyline. Let me talk about Liu Kang's storyline. Liu Kang's storyline restarts everything, going back to the life of the great Kung Lao, and the great Kung Lao, and with Liu Kang playing the role of Raiden, and having Kung Lao, the great Kung Lao, be his champion, restarting the entire timeline. I like how Kung Lao finally gets to be the main character of Mortal Kombat. I'm looking forward to if Liu Kang's storyline, which I believe Liu Kang's ending is the canon one. If Liu Kang's is the canon one, I'm looking forward to a storyline featuring Kung Lao, a human, Raiden, and Fujin, ancestors of Nightwolf, Johnny Cage, and the rest of the characters from Mortal Kombat. I hope to see Geras again, and Shang Tsung. Oh yeah, he wiped Shang Tsung from history, so Shang Tsung won't be here. But they still have to deal with Sindel, Khan, Quan Chi, the Netherrealm, the Black Dragon, and various other bags. And I'm pretty sure a new sorcerer will take Shang Tsung's place. I hate both endings, but I prefer Liu Kang's. Then is Shang Tsung's ending. If his ending is true, I hate his ending. I hate Fuji and Raiden being servants to him. I hate how everyone had to lose the Shang Tsung in this game. In this video game, I like Shang Tsung's power and forms in this game, but I hated how smart, how intelligent, how he was one step ahead of everyone. I hate how he was power, even with the crowns. I hate how he was stronger than everyone. So I hated his ending. But if it leads to the remaining survivors, because it appears that that Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Shinjiko, Taven, New Cybot, Cabal, the Chaos Realm and Order Realm survived Shang Tsung's and Shang Tsung's betrayal. And if it leads to those guys coming together to form a new alliance to overthrow Shang Tsung, I'm all for it to set things right again. Once again, paralleling Mortal Kombat Deception. Deception. That's the only potential I see in Shang Tsung's ending. But I don't think Netherrealm is that intelligent. I think Liu Kang's is the canon ending, because Liu Kang, people try to say Shang Tsung win because he absorbed everyone. Liu Kang is the chosen one, is a better fighter than Shang Tsung. He doesn't need all those souls and power, which called Raiden's power is all he needed. Raiden's power and the badass fight technique is all he needed to beat Shang Tsung. And then it makes Liu Kang look like an asshole and an idiot and a failure and a pussy by sacrificing life of his friends only to lose and fall to Shang Tsung. So think about that for a minute. Yes, Mortal Kombat fans, you got to stop with your edgelord and foolish fantasies of bad guys winning. Yes, they're gonna win sometime, but in the end, good will always prevail in some way or another. Other problems I had with this game was we got past versions of all of the other characters I mentioned, but we didn't get past versions of Smoke. We didn't get past versions of Striker, and their storylines never got resolved. never got resolved. Characters like Ermac, Kinchi, and other characters went unnoticed in this game and apparently got killed off screen. What you call it? Aaron Black killed characters like Suhao, Cobra, Cobra, off screen, and like I said, who cared about Paz's version of Aaron Black? And since when was Aaron Black part of Mortal Kombat 9? And some characters like Cabal. First off, he's evil in both. Paz Cabal is evil, and with the Black Dragon, and Revenant Cabal is evil, and the two never interact with each other. And there's no resolution to that storyline. And if you brought back Sub-Zero, why you didn't bring back Paz versions of Kuai Liang or a Paz version? Or a Paz version of the original Sub-Zero. I don't know, to try to redeem Noob Saibot. Oh yes, Noob Saibot. Well, it was awesome to see him back. He was just here to lose to Jax, Jaquie Briggs, and Fujin in the new timeline, and Fujin in the new version. My favorite chapters in both versions includes the Shaolin Monks chapter, Fire and Ice, Scorpions, past and present Scorpions chapter, Raiders chapter, and finally Fire Gods chapter, and Paz Jax. The worst chapter is Johnny Cage's chapter. Instead of the badass Paz Johnny Cage, we get middle-aged old man special forces Johnny Cage fighting the Black Dragon. The dual Kanos was pretty cool too. Then you get then in the Aftermath version, Fujin's chapter, Sindel's chapter. I hate playing as the bad guys, but I like playing as Sindel and Titan, Shang Tsung. Yes, in the Aftermath version, you also get to play as the bad guys. Fire God Liu Kang chapter, final battle with Shang Tsung. Mortal Kombat started and ended. The first Mortal Kombat game started and ended with these two fighting, Shang Tsung and Liu Kang, and the second timeline ended with these two fighting. I like that right there. Then the first chapter with followed by every other chapter, including Nightwolf's chapter, with the Aftermath DLC, in my opinion, being better than the first one. But I hate playing as the bad guys. But I do like playing as Sindel and Shang Tsung. Hated playing as Khan in this game. Revenant Nightwolf had to be, instead of being restored, had to be sacrificed in order to restore Shang Tsung, who would just end up betraying them later. So yes, the Revenants got done dirty in this game, but I suppose this is better than them being left as Revenants and not what's his name. And now the only Revenants surviving are Striker, Cabal, Smoke, and Noob Saibot. Well, this was my review of Mortal Kombat 11. Like I said, storyline and content-wise, action, special moves and fatality-wise, and visual and graphic-wise, one of the best games ever. But when it comes to gameplay, it's one of the worst. And I'm sick of games that look great but play poorly, and that's what this is right here. Like I said, I got to put biasness and nostalgia aside. Well, this was my review of Mortal Kombat 11. If you want to hear the rest of the story mode and music, turn the video off right now.